There's only a few things that I've done in my life that actually made a significant difference, be it for my health, my well being, my mental health, my productivity. I don't really care about anything else besides how can I grow physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And when I say physically, that includes like career and financially and productivity and all those things. That's thrown into the physical sector. But there's four sectors. And so there's really only about 10 habits that I still do to this day that has made a difference in my life. And this is coming from the guy that used to wake up early. I still wake up early, but coming from the guy that used to wake up early, take cold showers, meditate, maximum 1 hour in the sauna, gotta do this, gotta get sun, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta visualize, gotta have a gratitude journal, gotta journal. I gotta visualize and I gotta meditate and I gotta take time meditating. I gotta listen to affirmations as I sleep. I've done so many things. And they didn't work. And it's because I realized that there are just certain things you have to do to get towards the desired goal. Those things never worked for me. Not because I didn't know what I was doing, but because I realized my desired goal wasn't that. I just heard from the internet that I should probably be doing it. And since the internet told me, hey, you should probably be listening to this 4 hour long affirmation video if you want to manifest your dream life, I said, okay. I didn't really think about it. So, all that to say, these are 10 things that actually helped me. Okay? And when I say it helped me, that means it helped me get towards my desired end goal. And that's what I think success or work is. I made a post in my community tab defining success and work. Across basically my whole life, I used to think success was tangible: money, how many people know you, the vehicle you drive, the house you live in, the clothes you wear. I thought it was purely tangible. And then I came to the realization that if success is tangible, then I'll never be successful because there's always more to get. And plus, if I define success by these tangible things, what happens if it's ripped away from me? If I define success by my car, what happens if I total my car? Am I no longer successful? If I define success by the number in my bank account, what happens if I have a lot? Will I be egotistical? What happens if I have nothing? Will I feel worthless? And I made this shift because I've told stories about how just last year I had nothing. I was like negative $14,000 in debt. My credit went from like high 700s, damn near 800, crashed down to like 530. I couldn't pay off my bills. I was in a good situation. Then next thing you know, I had to print out like 50 resumes and go find a job and start from scratch. Until, well, the company that I was working with kind of just said, here's X amount of money. That's your, we're parting ways. Here's what you deserve. And during those moments, I felt so worthless. I felt like I had no value. I felt like I was never going to be successful. And I had to figure out why. And I came to the realization that I didn't feel successful. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel good about myself because I defined success purely by, do I have money? And I said, that's what's screwing me. It's not even effort, it's, do I have money? So I changed success. I had to change the definition. And what I came to realize was, as I redefined it, my entire perception moving forward changed. So I defined success as getting towards a desired end goal. That's it. If you are getting towards your desired end goal, you are successful. So, technically speaking, let's say my desired end goal was purely money. If my desired end goal was only money, yeah. If that's the case, yeah. Then money would make me successful. Because that's my desired end goal. I only want money. I don't care about anything else. I set my aim on becoming better. just growing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That was my desired end goal. I want to become better. I want to grow. I want to be able to squeeze every drip of potential out of me and just become a better human. That became my desired end goal. So anything that I did that was relative towards that, despite what was going on, despite how much money I had, despite my circumstances, despite my situation at the time, if I was doing anything that was helping me get towards the desired end goal, I became successful. So that means if I went to the gym, I was successful. Now it wasn't a delusion to where I would just train hard and not try to financially build myself. No, it was acknowledgement that I still have to work and financially build myself. This is a sector that I want to grow in. Beyond just growing physically, I want to be able to grow financially. Not only that, I want to be emotionally intelligent. I want to be intelligent. I have to learn. So I also had to read. So I that's my definition of it. And these habits I'm about to give you directly assist me in getting towards the desired end goal, which is just growing, just becoming better. This is what worked for me. The first habit is obviously do the hardest thing when you wake up. And it's usually the thing that you know you should be doing, but you're prone to skipping. For me, the hardest thing for me is going to the gym right when I wake up. That's the hardest thing for me. So I am not an early bird by any means. I don't wake up early. I guess being in the military for so long and forcing myself to wake up at like 5:36 kind of got me in that cycle, but I can very well easily sleep in. I don't get anxiety by just laying in bed all day. Trust me, I can do it. I can lay in bed all day. It's very easy for me to. I don't need to do anything. I could just lay there. But I know that doing what's hard will always result in a net gain on a long enough time horizon. So I wake up early, and the hardest thing for me is training. I hate going to the gym. I hate training. It's one of the most difficult things for me to do because I just hate it. I'm just so lazy. Believe it or not, guys, I'm very lazy. Like, I don't like trying at all. And it takes everything out of me to even try. I'd rather not try in life. That's why I try, because I know that it's hard for me to do. I don't enjoy trying, I don't enjoy effort. And that's the reason why a lot of my relationships in the past got damaged. Just that's literally the reason why my life went downhill for a long time because I don't like effort. So the thing for me that takes the most effort is not making content, it's not reading, it's not learning on YouTube, it's none of those things. It's going to the freaking gym. Oh my gosh, that thing is that's terrible. So I put it at on my first to-do list on my agenda for the day. Alarm rings at 3. I hate it every morning. No, there's no morning where I hear that alarm. I'm like, I can't wait. Fresh meat. Let's go. Let's go hunt. Let's no. I hear that alarm and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And I just get up. I snooze it. I give myself like a 1 or 2 minute buffer. I'll kind of sit around, like kind of doe-eyed. Then I'll get up and I'll go to the gym. And again, I only do it because it's hard. And what it does is it gives me momentum. You guys know I love momentum. I love leverage. You can leverage almost anything. You can leverage any negative emotion. You can leverage your circumstances. You can use what you have. So when I get done with the hardest thing for me, which is training, the whole day becomes a lot easier to tackle. As opposed to flipping it and tackling the whole day, yeah, not having done anything difficult, I have to now tackle the whole day, which now means tackling the whole day is difficult, just to try to sum up energy at the end of the day to train. But I don't have that energy reserve anymore because the whole day was difficult. So I don't end up training. When I train in the beginning, I have acknowledgement that I have enough energy to tackle the hardest thing, which is training. So the whole day becomes easy to tackle. I don't care if my agenda is full. I don't care if I need to read a whole book that day, if I need to make content, if I gotta go make phone calls, if I gotta drive everywhere. I don't care. It becomes easy because I'm reminded and I'm reinforced with this reminder that you got done with the hardest thing already, Thompson. Relax. You don't have to go to the gym anymore. That was the hardest thing. You can just relax. So the whole day is relaxation. Making videos becomes relaxing. Reading books become relaxing. Driving and working becomes relaxing. Making phone calls become relaxing. Editing becomes relaxing. Everything is relaxing. And that's what you get when you do the hardest thing in the beginning of your day. And that's why I do it. Because you get so much momentum. Things pop up in the day that seem stressful. It's not that bad. Because I went to the gym this morning. No, seriously. Like all hell could break loose. And I'll be like, it's not that bad. I went to the gym this morning. It's the thing that helps me get through the rest of my day because the rest of your day can be unexpected. It can be a disaster. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can go wrong. So that's why I do it, right? Whatever it is for you, I'd say the hardest thing for you, put in the beginning of your day and try to wake up early. So I kind of knock out two things in one. Waking up early is hard, going to the gym is hard, training is hard. And the reason I wake up early is because it's hard. All right. Which leads me to number two. The second habit that actually changed my life is going to sleep early and waking up early. No, seriously, I've been doing this for a long time. There was just, I knew somebody in the past and he would sleep at like 5 a.m., wake up at 12, like afternoon. He'd get 7 hours and I would sleep at like 8, wake up at around 3, 7 hours. And we would argue. He's like, I get as much sleep as you, and I still work. I work from 12 to 5 a.m. You just work from 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I said, well, yeah. But when the sun's out, you just have more opportunities. When it's 3 a.m., it's really hard to have opportunities to do things. The AM night owl times are your most creative times. So if you're doing something that requires a lot of creativity, if you're a content creator or you're an editor or whatever the heck you do, sure, that schedule might work for you. That didn't work for me. It disturbed my circadian rhythm. It threw that thing off. I didn't feel good. I felt sluggish. Something about waking up at 1 p.m. felt sluggish to me because I tried it. Just didn't feel good to me. So the best thing that I've ever done, and that I still do to this day, is I go to sleep early around 9 p.m. Everything's off. I I'm going to sleep. And let me tell you why I love it. I love this because it literally prevents me from making stupid decisions. All the bad things happen past 10 p.m. You go to the club, you go to the bar with your friends. You go say hi to that chick, you go drive, get into a car accident. I avoid 100% of the BS that can happen at nighttime by saying, oh no, I can't go to your party. I need to be asleep at 9. Oh no, no, I can't go to dinner. I need to be asleep at 9. Oh no, 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 I can't go to the bar, man. I gotta go to sleep. Yeah, it has made a significant difference. It's helped me avoid one, so many invitations to the bars, so many invitations to parties. I'm like, no, it's okay. No, I can't. I gotta end my night early tonight. It's a great excuse. I'm at a point now where I'm like, no, I don't give an explanation. But when I needed an explanation, it was, I am going to sleep. I gotta be in bed soon. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. So it's helped me avoid a lot of BS. Avoid getting drunk, which costs you 2 days. The day you get drunk, and then the next day of recovery. So it has helped me avoid moments of overconsumption of alcohol. It's just helped me. And then waking up early, there's just something about waking up early before anyone else because everyone can wake up late. It's the easiest thing for people to do. Anyone can wake up late. So it feels good knowing that I'm doing something that not a lot of people do, which is get up early. That I have the courage to get up early. And it's a personal thing. Because when that alarm rings, I want to snooze it and I don't want to get up. So it's truly a personal thing. Waking up early is just a personal thing. Because every morning I wake up early, I get this small victory. Where it's like, hey, you had the balls to get up this early. And you actually did it. Congratulations. Maybe you're not weak after all. So it helps me confirm that I'm not that weak. Or as weak as I think I am. Third one, fixing my unresolved internal problems before dating. Now, I know this is strange. We talk about leverage, momentum, starting your day off with a bang into dating. But it's truly one of the best habits I've ever adopted, which is I refuse to get with somebody unless I have fixed a majority of my unresolved internal matters. I have faced my trauma. I have healed myself, which I've made videos on. I've identified what's wrong with me. I've identified why past relationships didn't work out, and I fix it so that it doesn't happen again. Because I just don't believe anyone deserves your baggage. It's such a drag. Like, it's so annoying. When you have baggage, it's so annoying. Fix it. Your partner shouldn't have to deal with your unresolved internal matters. Your partner is not your mother or your father. Your partner is your partner. So you owe it to them, especially if you two care about each other, right? So, what this has allowed me to do is one, get extremely comfortable being alone until I fix my problems, which is a great thing because a lot of people have problems with being alone. They don't like solitude, they don't like isolation, they always need stimulus. So they're out partying, they're out making friends, they're on Tinder, they're always going on dates because they can't exist alone. And beyond that, they get used to this cycle of thinking a partner will fix them, just to find out that their unresolved issues, they start to take out all the pain, all the trauma, all the heartache, all the anger, whatever it is, whatever's unresolved, they take it out on their partner just to try to find another partner that'll fix them and say, oh, this one couldn't fix me. They're not supposed to fix you. You're supposed to fix yourself. That's not their job to fix you. No partner can fix you. They can make you feel good, but a feeling is temporary. When you fix something, that means you fix it. If I crack a mirror, I can duct tape it and hold it in place temporarily. That's what a partner may do for you. Hold your shit in place temporarily. But if you want to fix it, then you'll replace it. You'll look at it, tear it down, and be like, time to get a new one. And that's the same thing with your unresolved internal matters. You have to look at yourself, either in the mirror or you need to visit the constructs of your mind. Look at yourself, the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. Say, that's pretty freaking ugly. Tear that person down and rebuild. And when you do that, you become a better person. And you can give this person to a partner. And plus, it helps you not attract broken. Because if you're broken and you haven't fixed it, guess what you're going to attract? Broken that hasn't fixed it. So your partner's going to be broken. And then you're going to think your partner's the problem. And your partner's going to think you're the problem. When the reality is, both of you guys are the damn problem. You guys are both broken. You guys are both screwed up. You both need to fix your stuff. Otherwise, you're just gonna go in this same cycle. So that's the third habit that actually helped me. Now you may ask, what did I do to fix my unresolved internal matters? And all I did was I sat down outside. I would let the sun hit me, and I would look at the sky, listen to the birds, and I had the luxury to do that in the military for hours on end, especially during COVID. We didn't go to work. We didn't do anything. We just had hours and hours of free time. Plus, I didn't have a car, so I was stuck in the dorms. So I'd sit on the balcony and I would just look at the same tree for hours on end. And I would go crazy. My thoughts would go crazy. They would run amok. I didn't know where to start. But after like day 7, then I started to be able to gain the strength to structure thought. For the first 7, I think even 14 days, 2 weeks, it was just uncontrolled thoughts. I needed to stimulate myself. So I'd sit there, look at a tree, then I pick up my phone, scroll, then I drop it, then I smoke a cigarette, then I drop that, then I'll go drink. And I just couldn't just be still. And then eventually the drinking and the cigarettes and the stimulation got annoying, and then I just decided to look at the tree and just be there. And eventually it started with a lot of scattered thoughts that don't know what to do and impulse, to feeding the impulse, to getting sick of feeding the impulse, to letting the scattered thoughts just run around, run amok. Until then, the thoughts got tired, and then I was able to restructure these thoughts. And then I can ask myself questions. And I dug inside my mind in order to find the answers. I know it sounds crazy and like, how can you do that? But it's a process that involves you getting used to being still. And you have to observe the observer. So if your brain observes the environment, you need to somehow flip your eyeballs inside and observe your brain and see why your brain and your mind behaves in a certain way, why it thinks certain things, believes certain things. And when you can observe the observer, you're like, I'm not really my mind. I'm I'm separate from my mind. My mind and my brain is just trying to make sense of the environment, but it's not me. And then as you observe, you can take control of your mind and your brain and say, well, I don't like this. And you can grab in your head something you don't like and you can discard of it. And then if there's something that you do like, you can say, oh, I like this. And you can actually expand it to where your brain and your mind gets engulfed by it. It's, I'm, I'm not joking now. That was literally my process until I got it right. And to this day, when I have a problem that needs to be resolved and I have an issue, and I do the same thing because I have the means to do so. So I know some of you guys don't have the means. You guys just have to find the means. Somewhere in your schedule, find that time. But for me, if I have a problem that I need to really resolve and I need to think, I need to enter deep thought, I'd go outside, I'd get some sun, I'll listen to wind, the birds, the cars driving. It doesn't matter. And then I'll just sit there and I'll zone off into space and I'll look at the ground and I'll zone off. And as I'm zoning off, what I'm doing is I'm looking inward. The moment I zone off, I'm looking at my mind and I'm trying to organize everything to find a solution, to become better, to solve the problem I have. So that's number three, fixing my unresolved internal matters before dating, because my next lady, they definitely deserve it. Okay? So four, not expecting fast results, playing the long game. I've said this so many times in videos, but it's so powerful. And it has to be one of the few things that keep giving me hope, keep giving me strength to keep going. I love it. And in a nutshell, not expecting fast results allows me to do things and keep doing them. When we look at somebody that trains, let's use uh let's use these New Year's resolutions people who train, go to the gym, and within 2 or 3 weeks they're done because they thought the results were going to come quicker. Let's use a lot of people that start a YouTube channel or create content or start a business and they stop. It's because they thought the results were going to come a lot sooner. And plus, the expectation is diluted. We always want something, but we don't want what it takes to get there. So let's just say we have a desire. I want to be a successful business owner. What you're basically saying is, I would like the success without any of the downsides. Give me all upsides, which is completely delusional because anything great requires a significant amount of downside. If you want to get in shape, the downside is you need to devote time and energy into the gym, and your body's gonna hurt, and you're gonna sweat, and it's gonna be uncomfortable, and there are days where you're gonna be lazy, and there's days where you're gonna be sick, and you still gotta go. If you want a successful business, you have to deal with the fact that maybe you're not gonna have money, maybe all the money you invested on inventory, you're gonna lose. Maybe you're gonna make hundreds of videos and none of them are gonna hit, and sales are decreasing month after month. And then rent's due and you still need to sell these products, and then you're going to be stressed out, then you're going to find other means. If you There's so many things. Then taxes come, and now you can't now you owe, and you're still trying to survive. And all day you're looking at social media trying to get ideas of how to bring people in, how to get them to buy your stuff. You're doing the outbound, you're doing the email marketing, you're doing the DMs, you're trying to do distribution, you're trying to do affiliates, you're trying to do marketing, you're trying to build campaigns and run advertisement. And then, well, that sounds kind of stressful, right? That's what comes with having a successful business, is doing the work. But we don't see that. We kind of just see the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Rolex, the Audemars Baguette, the millions of dollars, the home in Beverly Hills, and the private jet, and the yacht, and the pretty ladies, and that's all we see. So when I don't, when I'm able to not expect fast results, it also allows me to expect all the drawbacks, like all the downsides. So with YouTube, I don't expect fast results with YouTube. If you guys didn't know, I record off my phone. This is my phone, okay? And I connect it to my MacBook Air. This MacBook is from like 2014. I have no idea. And I just use the QuickTime player in the MacBook and it connects to my phone because I'm signed into the same thing, I guess. And it just records on my phone and I use the microphone for my MacBook. I don't expect my YouTube to grow immediately. I I'm very patient with my YouTube. And to a degree, the quality videos I have, they're not that quality. They're not high quality. They're just average. They're mediocre. I don't do any cuts. I don't do any fancy edits. I don't throw music. I will in the future. But I'm barely starting. And some people may get defeated like, oh my gosh, it's been this long. I'm only at 11,000 subscribers. To me, I'm excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm at 11,000 subscribers. If we keep this up for 5 years, we might be at 100K in 5 years. Right? And I get excited because I play the game long. That's what not expecting fast results do for me. I don't get disappointed. I'm like, if I keep this up, in 10 years, I'm gonna be at 300K subscribers. Oh my gosh. And when you're able to do that, you remove this idea that things have to happen quickly. Nothing happens quickly. We just want it quick. As if anything significantly changes. Like, let's say you want money quickly. How would your life change if you got $1 million today, besides the fact that you have less stress? No, seriously, how would it change? And let's just say you're someone that doesn't want to spend. So you're not going to buy a new car or anything. You're just going to take care of the people you want to take care of. But how would your life change? Because now you have to worry about how can I make use this money to make more money. Now you're probably going to try to purchase businesses. Now you're going to try to dollar cost average into the S&P 500. You might invest in I bonds. You might start a real estate portfolio. So who's to say it won't get more stressful? Everything is stressful. The success you want is stressful. The ideal body you want is successful. The growth you may want is successful or is very difficult to obtain. It's going to be stressful. But the thing is you just expect all the good with no downside. And that's delusion. If you can just slow your roll and say it's not going to take a year, it's going to take 5. What happens and what begins to happen is you can play the game 10 years out. When 1 year you've been doing the same thing over and over every day and you don't see that much progress, you just say, it wasn't supposed to take 1 year anyway. It's supposed to take 5. And then you're like, oh, I'm 1 year in, got 4 more to go. And it's really important because you get to look at how far you've gone as opposed to how far you still have to keep going. Pain and stress comes from when we acknowledge the gap from where we are and where we want to be. That's where pain and gap. That's where pain and that's where stress comes in because that gap is very, very wide. Now, if you can take where you are versus where you were, it's the same gap. It's the same distance, but now it's not pain, it's not stress. It's, that's not too bad. I may want to squat 900 pounds but maybe I only squat 200. I remember when I couldn't squat the bar. Huh. All right, and so you focus on the journey, not the destination. I say this and I'll say it again. Alex Ramosi says, the real mountain has no peak. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, who you become along the way. And the view doesn't look good at the very top when you make it up the mountain. The view looks the best as you climb. That's when the view looks the best, as you're climbing. And winners just love to climb. So achieve things for the sake of becoming someone else, not because you're so fixated on obtaining something. No, try to become someone. If you want success and you're locked into success, don't desire success because you can't wait to obtain that money. Think about who you'll become along the way. You have to think about who you'll become along the way, because who you will become along the way is a lot better than that money. Because who you become along the way, you can lose all that money and still get it back because you become somebody. You guys seen those YouTube videos about millionaires and billionaires purposely going homeless and then they get back to $1 million within like a month? It's because they became someone throughout the process of starting those businesses, throughout the process of building wealth, to where they have the skills. So it's not about what you obtain, it's about who you become. Number 5, treating people how God has treated me. This is a pretty big one, and it's one of the toughest things that I've had to do. I was having a conversation, I think maybe a few years back, and with somebody that I once knew, and this person asked me, if somebody did you wrong, would you forgive them? And I said, well, what do you mean did me wrong? Like robbed me? I had a business and they stabbed me in the back. He was like, sure, we'll go with that example. Let's say you were a business owner and they stabbed you in the back. And then they asked for forgiveness and a chance to work again. What would you do? I said, I'd forgive them and I would allow them to work again. I would just be more strategic. So I'd set up safety measures to where they can't stab me in the back again, but they deserve a second shot. And I remember the person I was speaking to was so blown away. They said, what? I would never. How could you do that? And I told that person, I said, throughout the course of my life, I have messed up more times than I can count. I've done more wrong than I can count. If you put all the wrong that I've done next to all the good that I've done, the good that I've done don't even it doesn't even compare to all the wrong that I've done. And so after I've messed up, and I know I messed up, I still make the same mistakes time and time again. God never said, hey Thompson, two strikes you're out. You don't get a third shot. Every time I mess up, God has always said, it's okay. Let's try it again. And then I'll make the same mistake. And God will say, it's okay. Let's try it again. Over and over and over. And so I've been forgiven countless amount of times. And so I believe that I should extend that to people because we're not perfect. Now you can look at that as, wow, they're just using you. You're just going to be used, Thompson. You can't be so foolish. Then call me a fool. I don't think I'm better than anyone to not give them a second chance. And so we can use the extreme example of, let's say I'm in a relationship and my woman cheats on me. It would destroy me. The pain and the anger I'd feel would want me to leave her. And I would never allow myself to love again, and I would never trust again. But I wouldn't want to at least, but I would look at her and say, I forgive you, not because I do, but because God has forgiven me. So I believe I should extend that to you. So you have my forgiveness. And we can try this again. But understand that it's not me. Because me, I want to leave. This is God. This is the best version of me. This is not me speaking to you right now. So I'd make it very clear. And I live by that because it's so hard. And you guys will notice a common theme with these habits is that they're very difficult, but they're the thing that has helped All of these habits are the very things that have helped me transform. God has forgiven me and given me multiple chances and opportunities to try again. I give that to other people. God has been understanding with me. I try to be understanding towards other people. God has been okay letting me suffer, knowing that on a long enough time horizon it will benefit me. I do that with other people, and it hurts. It's kind of like a father watching his son ride a bike, and his son falls. The father says, "Get up," not because the father is heartless, but the father is like, if I help him up now, he'll never learn. He has to learn the hard way. But the father's in pain, like, oh my gosh, my baby just fell. He's crying. Oh my gosh, that sound. Right? That's a fatherly love that I've adopted, that I've been able to give to my peers, to my romantic relationships, to my family members. And it's the thing that I truly believe helps people grow, which is this is what's best for you despite you not wanting it. So I think we should do what's best for you. Because if you look back on your life, how many times did you have to do something to grow, even though it wasn't necessarily what you wanted? I'm pretty sure a lot of times, right? Well, we can ask why. And it's because what you want isn't necessarily the thing that's going to help you grow. The thing that's going to help you grow is most likely the opposite of what you want. So, treating people how God has treated me, forgiving people, giving people second chances, being slow to anger, being patient with them, understanding, loving, just giving people hugs for crying out loud, not looking at them and judging them because I am freaking flawed too, man. But looking at people and saying, I don't know your story. I haven't lived your life. If I had lived your life, who's to say I wouldn't end up worse? I think you've done just fine with the cards that you were dealt in life. And I'd say you are a hell of a rock star. And that's really empathetic. That's loving. And it's very hard for me. Like really, really hard. Sixth one. Not eating BS. Or at least not often. You, as you can tell, these 10 habits are jumpy. Like they go from one sector to another because I really had to think about it. I didn't really think about organizing it. I just said, well, what are the things that have helped me? So when I say not eating BS, and this is coming from somebody that used to eat out all the time. My gosh, let me tell you guys what one meal. So I train. Yes, last year I was a lot bigger. Like, uh, creatine, protein, like 4 meals a day, big meals. And I was strong. I was stronger and I was bigger. And I realized this isn't healthy. Though I have a high metabolism, I said just because I'm thin doesn't mean that I'm healthy. That's actually how I believe my father got sick, is because he just associated how his body looks with his health. Hey, just because someone is thin does not mean they're healthy. I know I wasn't healthy. You guys know what I was eating? I was eating chips, donuts. A typical meal would be like four double doubles, four double cheeseburgers, 2 or 3 large fries. And then I would go to Cane's, and then another meal would be like 8 chicken tenders with a large fry and 2 toasts. And then, oh my gosh, it was just bad. At McDonald's, a meal was like 3 or 4 McDoubles, 3 or 4 spicy hot and spicy McChickens. Like that was a meal. Like that was really bad, and it was often too. So I also slowed down where I started to fast often, and I did this for a while, which is fasting all the way until sundown. So it's kind of like what it's Ramadan without the praying. Yeah, so I would intermittent fast until sundown, just water throughout the whole day. Now, why was it amazing? Because of the mental clarity that I had. I saw so sharp. What were the drawdowns? Obviously, I lost weight. Strength decreased just a little bit. But at that moment, I said, well, I don't really care about how I look. I care more about my health, longevity. So I was okay with it. And then I started training just a little bit more. And I realized that I have to keep up with my training. So now I don't overeat. I don't track my macros. What I do is I'll train in the morning. I'll have a small meal, like maybe like 8 to 10 eggs. That's one meal. And then the rest of the day, I just won't eat anything. And I'll eat 1 or 2 meals a day. So in the morning, I ate about 8 to 10 eggs. Maybe in the afternoon, when I get done filming these videos for you guys, I'll go downstairs and I'll cook 2 or 3 steaks. And that's it. That's a wrap for today. That's it. Am I hitting all my macros? Probably not. But I'm giving my body just enough fuel. I also don't believe in overeating. But I also realized that I was under eating a little bit when I was doing the intermittent fasting and I was doing the amount of training that I was doing. Because I would run, I would box, I would jump rope, right? I would weight train, I do high intensity interval training. So I needed a little bit more fuel. So when I say I don't eat BS, I don't really eat BS. I'll buy a bunch of steaks, grass fed steaks. I get New York strip. I'll get a bunch of that. That's all I'll eat with eggs. Or I'll get a bunch of ground turkey and I'll eat ground turkey. That's it. Very little carbs. Usually I get my carbs from fruit. So I'll eat mangoes, pineapples, kiwis, bananas. Those are like the fruits I eat. That's really my diet. And I used to eat like ramen noodles, and I just used to eat like garbage. I didn't care. I'm just like get big, get big, get big. Now I'm more optimized on health, and I realize that there is a way for me to get strong, functional, and be healthy all in one without having to overdo it. So I don't take creatine, I don't take protein, I just eat food. Now, here's the not often part. I have a bucket of salted caramel ice cream downstairs from Ben and Jerry. Now listen. Sugar is not good for you, and I am very much aware of that. However, I am willing to accept the possibility that it's not good for me for the taste and how it makes me feel, because it's so delicious. Do I have it every night? No. Do I control how much I have? I try to 100%. So I have a spoon, and I'll maybe just do a spoonful every other night. That's it. That's it. Sometimes it's not a spoonful. Sometimes it's multiple spoonfuls. But I like to treat myself to some dessert. Also, I'm a sucker for cheesecake. So if cheesecake is given to me, I'm eating it. Life is too short. I don't think that you need to restrict yourself from all these bad foods. You just have to have good food outweigh the amount of bad food that you eat. That's it. I drink a gallon a day. I get some sun. I train. So Ben and Jerry's probably won't kill me. It's not like I eat a tub a night. If I ate a tub of ice cream a night, now we might have a problem, right? I'm also a sucker for some spicy chips, right? I like chips. I ate chips growing up. So that's one of the things that I'll allow in my diet, which is spicy chips. And my source of sugar is Ben and Jerry's salted caramel ice cream. It used to be Mexican candy, but now it's transitioned to Ben and Jerry's. So it's changed. My taste buds have changed. I used to crave Mexican candy. Now I don't really care about that. I just like ice cream. Okay? Habit number 7. This is my favorite. Using caffeine as a super drug. Listen to me. Black coffee. No pre-workout, nothing. And I only take black coffee after or during my first meal. So it would look something like this. It'll look something like I'll wake up at 3. I'll train from 3 to about 6:10. Takes me about 15 minutes to get home. I'll be home around 6:25 before the market opens, so I can check out the market, just do my quick scans, and I'll trade. And then once I'm done trading, then I'll have my first meal, and I will drink coffee with my first meal so that I don't get tired. I always try to have coffee with a meal so I don't get tired. Because usually when I eat a pretty decent sized meal, I'll get tired. That's how your body. I don't really know the science of it, but I believe, and I'm 100% certain that I'm wrong, but it's something like when you eat, blood pressure, blood sugar, something increases, and your body needs to lower it, and so as it tries to lower it, that's why you get the fatigue and groggy feeling, something like that. I think I learned that in like sixth grade, but I don't really remember. That's why I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But caffeine is a super drug, so I always drink some black coffee while I eat, and it's the thing that just helps me stay more productive throughout the day. And I don't drink black coffee. I have instant black coffee. I'll put a decent amount in a cup, pour like a tad bit of boiling water in there, swivel it up, pour a little bit of warm water in there, and it's like an espresso shot kind of. Yeah, so that's what I do, and that's what keeps me going, along with some nootropics. So caffeine and something called Korean Pansax ginseng. Yeah, that two combination right there. Oh, laser focus, laser focus. So nootropics are really cool. I like taking citicoline. Um, just things that enhance memory, mental clarity, alertness, stuff like that. I enjoy doing stuff like that, especially when I read, especially when I'm spending hours and hours making content. I like to be mentally locked on and focused, and I like my brain to be functioning at top speeds. That's what, hence the caffeine. Because the more I speak, the more energy I use. And if I get tired, then the rate of thought processing slows down. The only way I can speak is if I can process my thoughts. The only way for me to process my thoughts is to have a lot of energy. And what gives me energy and the mental clarity and the focus is the black coffee and the nootropics. So that's it. Caffeine, nootropics as a super drug. Do it before you study. Do it while you're reading. Do it while you're immersed in deep work. I don't need it before the gym. I try to train in the morning without anything, so I don't really take supplements in the morning before I train. Plus, caffeine. I think caffeine acts on your adenosine system. That's the your adenosine system is the thing that caffeine acts on. So that's not even active until 90 minutes after you wake up. So it's like if I take caffeine 30 minutes after I wake up, it won't do anything except give me a crash. So I avoid that until I train, get everything done, trade, and then I'll eat. Boom, that's my caffeine. Here's number eight. Number eight is being able to train without music. This is actually a huge habit. This is coming from the dude who used to always listen to music as he trained. I needed music, and I had like heavy rock. I would have rap. I would have just a diverse mix of music. Now, and I've gained the ability in the military when we used to run like 5, 6 miles without music, just footsteps, silence. And all I would do during that time is focus on my breathing. And I guess the habit kind of got instilled. And now if I go on a run and they're like, you don't listen to music, I'm like, no. Everyone's surprised. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a great habit. I have an advantage over you. You need music, you loser. I don't need music. All right, so going to the gym and being able to train without music, and now to a degree, the gym plays very annoying music that I don't enjoy listening to, especially at 3:30 a.m. Like the last thing I need in my ears at 3:30 a.m. is Britney Spears or Katy Perry and Doja Cat. And so I have headphones and I listen to audiobooks in the morning. I like this because music turns you on. It's like it feeds the animal. You need music to bring out the animal? Why can't you just be water? Who do you guys think is more deadly? An angry headed, an angry muscle head that's always angry with testosterone, or Bruce Lee? I'm gonna say Bruce Lee. And he will never get angry. He's just water. That's all he is, just water. He's just relaxed. He's calm. He flows. And that's why I like training to audiobooks, because I am in a calm state and I am trying to allocate a lot of energy towards picking up heavy weights. So what would help me is very extreme music. But I'm like, that's too easy. That's the easy way out. The hard way out is to listen to slow, peaceful audiobooks. I don't need a stimulant. So I'm feeding my mind as I'm training my body. If I turn on heavy metal, I have the stimulant, and now I'll pick up the weight easier. I don't need an easy way out. Give me the hard way out. And for me, it's hard to train and listen to something peaceful because I'm forced to enter an aggressive state but be in a peaceful state, a state of tranquility, right? So mentally, I have to exist in a state of tranquility, but I have to physically enter an aggressive state. And if you can create that harmony, you win. So that's one of the biggest habits that I've obtained in the military, which is being able to run without music, which allows me to train without music. I can just listen to my breathing, and I like hearing myself breathe. I remember moments where I would go to the gym, listen to music. I couldn't even hear myself breathe. I'm like, am I breathing? I forgot I was breathing because all I hear is just music in my ears. I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan. You don't need extra stimulants. Part of all the Look at all these gym people, all these gym girls, all these gym bros. They need like 900 stimulants to get them. Like, hey man, just go pick the weight up. They need the caffeine. They need the pre-workout with the BCAAs, with the C4, with the heavy rock music, with the 5 minute pre-game warm-up, with the this and the that and the nicotine and the vape. Hey man, walk in the gym and pick up some weight, for crying out loud. You don't need to psych yourself into training. You just have to go in there and train. And in training, you will get psyched up. It's very simple. So that's habit number 8 that really helped me. Habit number 9 is getting sun every day. Now, this is the one thing that actually helped me. Days where I would be outside, and now given I have the time and the way my schedule is, I have the blessing and the luxury to allocate an hour towards just sitting down, right? I have the means to do that. So I like to sit in the sun, like probably after these few videos I'm gonna do and record, probably gonna try to catch some sun. I'm gonna just sit in the sun for an hour, let the sun hit me. Now, if you do research for men, right, it increases testosterone and increases vitamin D production. I don't know. Uh, and I also believe there's a study where if obviously if you have enough privacy, I believe if you just let the sun hit your balls, just bare, I believe your testosterone skyrockets. You got to read the study. It's there. I promise. I'm not making this stuff up. And so I've done that sometimes in my backyard, where there's privacy, where no one can see me. I will let the sun just glaze the twins, and I just feel better. I get more color, and I just feel better as opposed to being locked inside all day and I don't get sun. I definitely prefer sun than no sun. So getting sun every day is just something that's helped me. It really does. Enhances my mood, makes me feel better, makes everything better. Last habit that really impacted my life for real is learning how to structure my thoughts and communicate. When I say learning how to structure my thoughts, again, I had to spend years learning how to observe the observer, meaning I had to spend years learning how to look at my brain and visualize looking at my brain. Like, it's almost as though my brain is the mechanism for creating thought. And me as a person, I have to look at it like, hey, why are you thinking like that? Like, I have to have a conversation with my brain. Like, why are you creating these thoughts? Are you okay? Is everything good at home? And in order for me to do that, I said earlier that I had to spend a lot of time alone in deep reflection, isolation, solitude. That's the thing that helped me. So, as I learned how to structure my thoughts, what it does was it allowed me to control my mind and it allowed me to get rid of anything that was harming me. It allowed me to focus more on the things that were beneficial for me. And that also helped with my communication skills. So, when I talk about communication, I've been told that my ability to articulate is impressive, which I don't think so, because I'm 24, and if you look at how Tony Robbins or Jordan B. Peterson was at 24, they are much more impressive than me. But I guess if you just compare me to the average individual, I may be more skilled, but not by a yard, not by 100 yards, more like by a single metric. And I say that truthfully and honestly because I have a lot of work to do. But part of my articulation process involves this. You guys see my hands. I do this because I imagine a bowl of words right here. And then as I create an idea, like 50 words just spring up. and they're like, this pot is telling me, okay, you may need these 50 words to use in order to coherently explain to the audience this idea or concept that you have. And so it'll spring forth 50 words. And what I have to do is I have to kind of grab them and I have to place them one by one individually. So I have to think, and within milliseconds, as I think, I have to speak. And I've gone into this habit of being able to do that. And you guys will notice I pause a lot instead of using filler words like I used to do that a lot. But instead, in moments where I need to organize my thoughts, I just pause. When you say it's the same thing as pausing. It's buying yourself a brief moment so that you can structure thought and communicate it. So instead of saying I just pause. If I need to structure a thought, place together a few words, and create a sentence, I'll do so. Right? But that's one of the most powerful things I've learned how to do, because learning how to communicate effectively helped me make friends. It's helped me do better in social gatherings. It's helped me in my romantic relationships. It's helped me with you guys. It's allowed me to teach. It's allowed me to speak to you guys on camera and not get locked up, right? Get all nervous. And it all started with the ability to structure my own thoughts. And that all started with time alone, isolation, and just constant reflection. And it doesn't take months. I mean, it took me years. It took a very long time to get to this point, right? But anyways, those were 10 habits that truly changed my life. I hope it helps you. If whatever you're doing doesn't help you, you can consider adopting any of these. These are the 10 habits that I still do to this day that have significantly made an impact. I would not be sharing it with you if I didn't think it was valuable. All of these things are responsible for helping me grow physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. All of them. That's all I got for today. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.